Hello, in this video we are going to extend our example of using CGI for the get method for the post method. And honestly, it's really simple. The Python file where you get data doesn't actually change. In some languages you would have to change it, like PHP. All you do, you go here, change this to post, and you're done. So here, as you can see, in the get format, it sent it via the URL. If we go back to the file, get file.html, and if I type in something slightly different, click submit, as you can see, still printed it, but it's not in the URL. It sent it via the post method. So that's the only difference. That's all it is. And over these two videos, this one, the previous one where we did get and post methods, yes, we only covered very simple forms, basically text-based forms. And you might think, yeah, there's other sorts of text area, checkbox, radio button, and other sort of stuff. And honestly, the principle is exactly the same. What I'll do is provide a link with both of these videos so you can actually see how to access them. But honestly, if you can get your head around doing get and post with what we've done with this example, you're all good to go. Before we finish off, I'm just going to go over the differences between get and post. So get, because the values stay in the URL, they're great for stuff like bookmarking and history. So post, it doesn't get saved in browser history and it's not bookmarked. The back button, so when you click the back button, get requests are re-executed but may not be resubmitted to server if HTML is stored in the browser cache. Whereas for post, the browser usually alerts the user that data will need to be resubmitted. So that's something to bear in mind. You might have already seen that when you click back and you may have submitted a form and you say, do you want to resubmit the data again? And the encoding type is slightly different. Feel free to check that out a bit some more. The parameters, let's look at that. So you can send parameter data, but it's limited to what we can have in the URL. And you can only have so much because it really depends on the browser's character limit, and they have different character limits. Then on top of that, your URL will vary in size as well because this is localhost, but you might have like www before, maybe HTTP, S, all of that stuff, and then you might have a routing system as well. So I've seen browsers that can go up to 1,024 characters, some are more, some are less, and the safest amount is to use 2K of parameters. Apparently some servers can handle 64, but it's not recommended to use a lot. And for post, you can send a lot, so much you can even upload files. Okay, so from a hacking perspective, easy to hack. Get is very, very easy because it's just in the URL, so you can change that. So you can easily manipulate that. Post, very difficult to hack. Okay, so restrictions on the sort of form data that you can submit. In get, you can only submit ASCII characters, and in post, really there's no restrictions. But even binary data is also allowed if you really want to go down that route. Security, get is less secure compared to post because data is sent as part of the URL, so it's saved in browser history and server logs as plain text, whereas post is more safer than get because the parameters, are not stored in browser history or the server logs. And like I said, there's restrictions on the form length. Some people say 2048, is a good form length. I would say, honestly, don't go crazy with it because different browsers, different restrictions, and no restrictions on post. Don't think there really is. So okay, usability and get method should not be used when sending passwords or sensitive information. So definitely no. Post when sending passwords and sensitive information. Pretty simple. Visibility, everyone can see get because it's hidden. I mean, it's displayed in the URL. Post, really no one can because it's hidden. So caching, get can be cached, post can't be cached. So those are the differences between it. Obviously, you can go into the differences a lot more. You could have spent days and days just really going into the technical aspects of the differences between get, post, and how they work. And honestly, there's no either solution that you'll use for your website. You'll use one for a certain scenario and one for another scenario. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Python demo.